does that mean, sir, that Senator Risa Hontiveros is going to be your presidential candidate in 2028?
Yan po ang, if I would have my way, yan po ang itinutulak natin, no? I'm encouraging the different groups under the Pink Movement noong 2022 elections to kumbaga move on from VP Leni Robredo at mag-shift na tayo dun sa mas kumbaga proactive na leader. Yung talagang ginagampanan yung pagiging isang leader ng isang organisasyon, in this case the independent opposition.
So is this because missing in action si former Vice President Leni Robredo? I mean, she just practically disappeared, correct? And then there are thoughts that she did have, I think, something like 12 to 15 million votes, no, in the 2022 elections. So if she needs to say clearly what her plans are, so that magkaroon naman ng clarity, no, as far as where the opposition is headed. No, why isn't she doing that? What's her beef?
Ganyan na po ang personality ni VP Leni nung 2016 pa, ganun yan. Palagi namin hinihikayat, mag-prepare na tayo, kumbaga ipaglaban man lang yung opposition, yung pangalan nila. She was always like that. Kaya nga, this time around, ayoko nang pagdaanan muli yung mga pagkukulang nung panahon na siya ang leader ng oposisyon. Kasi kung siya ulit ang gagawin, ganun ulit ang mangyayari. No? Mag-aantayan tayo ulit. Pero ang unfair kasi dito is ang dami nangyayari ngayon, nagulo sa ating bayan. Yes. Ang leader talagang is in the thick of those things, no? Yung political action. Hindi ka pwedeng leader ka nga pero nandoon ka, nakatago ka, no? So that's not how a leader should act. So in the case of Senator Risa Hontiveros, talagang she's in the thick of the action, no? Pinamumunuan niya kung saan dapat pamunuan. Kaya yun ang gusto natin ng mga katangian na isang leader.
Umuha na ho ba si Senator Risa? Has she accepted the challenge?
Ano pa yan, masyado pang ngayon, alanganin yung panahon ngayon kasi mag-e-eleksyon ng 2025. Ako po, ang panukala ko, after 2025 ay magkaroon ng convention, yung Pink Movement, at doon na tayo magpilian para we can start early, no? Kumbaga para wala nang dramahan, wala nang reluctant leader na gimmick kasi bumenta na yun at nalugi na nga nung last election. Nalugi na It didn't work nung last election, yung mga ganong gimmick. Tapos na yun. Lumipas na tayo doon.
Yeah. Yan din, sir, ang sinasabi ni former Senator Bam Aquino. No? We have some questions coming from our viewers, except that I can't get them through here. No, so prior to just a couple of weeks ago, sinabi ni Bam Aquino that he was going to form this KNP ba? This new party na hindi naman ata new, no? Parang dati na siya at pero parang nire-revive, no? So I'd like to know, sinabi din niya in an interview that actually he's starting early now, no? He's running for senator, so he's obviously starting to campaign or preparing for the 2025 elections. And he says that that's one lesson that he learned, right? From the 2022 election is that they started rather late, and therefore there was not enough time to gain momentum and to campaign. And that's one lesson that, like you said, is a lesson that you've learned and would like to correct for 2022. What are your other lessons? Because like I'm a bit concerned about what former Congressman Barry Gutierrez and spokesman Lenny Robredo spokesman Barry Gutierrez, no, sabi niya, the opposition doesn't have to do anything kasi yung the Dutertes and Marcos are killing each other anyway. So, tama ba yun? Tama bang strategy yun for the opposition to just sit back and watch the two factions within the administration self-destruct? And the opposition will not lift a finger kasi it's already the Dutertes are doing their job. Your job for you're doing your job for them. Yeah.
Well, maling-mali po yung ganong strategy. Alam niyo po kung bakit? Dahil sa ganyang hidwaan, kung ang manalo po ang Duterte ang mauupo. So ngayon, pag nangyari yon, edi magkakamot tayo ng ulo. Di ho ba? Kailangan sa mga ganyang sitwasyon, titignan nyo sa ano ba ang mas ikabubuti ng bayan. Di ba? Pag nasagot mo yon, mas ikabubuti ba ng bayan na ang manalo dito sa banggaan na ito ay ang Duterte o ang Marcos? Pag nasagot mo yan, di doon ka kung saan mas ikabubuti ng bayan. Kasi hindi po ito basta away politika lang. We're talking about a power grab attempt, no? Ouster attempt. So hindi ito basta nag-iinsultuhan lang sila sa politika. In that case, sige, pwede ka lang no? Magpalakas at magparami habang nag-aaway sila. Pero hindi, ang usapan po dito, ouster, no? At alam po namin yan na nangyari na yan, nakailang attempt na po. So, kailangan proactive tayo, no? Yung ganyang fence-sitting mindset, ganyan po ang nangyari, no? Kaya napaglipasan ng panahon yung kampo ni VP Lenny at dahil ganyan yung kanilang mindset. And si Senator Risa Hontiveros, nakita nyo, hindi ganoon ang mindset niya. Nung kailangan imbestigahan si Kibuloy na kahit ito ay pumapabor sa Marcos administration kasi kaalyado ni Duterte and si Kibuloy, but kailangan gawin kasi ikabubuti ng bayan na maimbestigahan si Kibuloy. So ginawa niya, hindi siya nag-fence it, no? Kaya kailangan baguhin natin yung ganyang mindset at para maging proactive.
So binabagong ba ngayon ng opposition kasi parang right now go ahead.
Well, precisely, I just cited itong si Senator Risa Hontiveros, who is the true leader of the opposition. She is at the forefront. Hindi niya ginagawa yung sinasabi ni Barry Gutierrez na manunood na lang. Di ba? Hindi pwede yon, no? Sila yon, no? Yung kampo nila VP Lenny, ganon ang gusto nilang gawin, which I disagree with. Kaya nga, nandito kami kay Senator Risa Hontiveros. Yun po.
So, what about people like yung mga lumalabas sa mga top-notchers sa mga survey, no? Like si Senator Raffy Tulfo? Or is there some other dark horse maybe that, kasi matagal-tagal pa naman ng 2028, no? What are the possibilities that there would be a dark horse that will emerge from somewhere?
Malaki
First of all, Raffy Tulfo, sir.
Okay. Malaki po yung possibility na may uusbong na mga bago. Kasi kung titignan natin yung recent history natin, noong 2010 elections, sino pa yung mga primary protagonist noon? Di ba si Mar Rojas at si Manny Villar? Sila yung talagang mga front runners. But ultimately, ang nanalo si President Noynoy Aquino. Last minute. Dito naman sa 2016, ang mga ano nun, tinitignan nun si Senator si Secretary Marrojas ulit. Tapos si Vice President Binay, 'di ba? Tapos in the middle lumabas si Senator Grace Poe. Pero kinalaunan si former Mayor Duterte ang naging frontrunner sa last minute, 'di ba? So nung 2022 ano rin, si Sara Duterte yung nilalabas, sina Isko, sina VP Leni. Then, out of the blue, because of last-minute realignments, si President Marcos yung nanaig. So, kumaga marami pa pong mga variables na pwedeng mangyari at ganun nga po, no, historically, hindi natin nakikita yung mga eventually magiging frontrunners sa election. Yun po.
Okay. So, as far as Sara Duterte is concerned, no, she has not broken away from the president, no. At the same time, maingay yung pamilya niya, and you are a strong advocate, no, for the ICC and the filing of charges against those in charge of those EJKs. What are the chances of Sara Duterte stepping down, no, and turning against Marcos? What are the chances that she will be included among those that will be charged in the ICC and therefore would be obliterated from the race altogether?
Okay, yung pong sa unang question kung what are the chances kung magre-resign siya. Yan po, sila VP Sara, nag-aantayan sila ng political timing kung kailan sila bibitaw o hindi. Kasi alam nilang it would be a bad look for President Marcos to kick her out, ano, by the way, as Secretary of DepEd ito, no? Kaya yan, inasa kamayan ng mga political strategies nila Sara Duterte. But for all intents and purposes, ano na lang yan, sinasakyan na lang nila whatever political juice that they can squeeze out of the position of Secretary of Education. Kasi alam nilang kung wala ka ng cabinet portfolio, magiging kagaya ka ni VP Leni nung panahon na yon, that you can just be isolated there in one corner with limited resources, and they don't want that kasi 2028 is still 4 years away, no? Kaya kailangan nilang ng mga ganyang platform pa na pwede nilang magamit for their political interests. Ngayon, yung next question, ano ba yung chances na masasama siya sa kaso sa ICC? Yan po, as it is, meron ng nag-testify, ito po si Arturo Las Cañas, na sinasabi na kasama si Sara Duterte doon po sa EJK sa Davao nung siya ay mayor, kasi nagpaalam po sila na kung pwede silang magpatuloy ng extrajudicial killings at pinayagan niya yon. Kaya yun po ang ebidensya laban sa kanya. Would that be enough to warrant her inclusion in the case? We shall see. Tignan po natin, no? Kasi technically may patayan nung panahon niya as mayor, may patayan before nung siya ay mayor sa tatay niya, hindi nag-reduce yung number of killings nung panahon niya, plus meron pang eyewitness account na talagang binigyan sila ng clearance na ipagpatuloy yung patayan. So, yun po, diantayin na lang po natin kung masasama nga siya doon.
So, is an arrest warrant coming out soon? You've been quoted as saying na baka July, di ba? At the earliest ba or latest?
Yun po ang estimate po natin kasi ultimately, even the Office of the Prosecutor, hindi po nila hawak yan. Ang mangyayari kasi pag nag-apply sila ng warrant of arrest, yung ano po, yung pre-trial chamber ang magde-decide at it's just a guessing game kung kailan nila ilalabas yun.
Okay. Yeah, but that things can happen very fast, no? Like we have this phone-in question, for example, ano daw ang role ng military sa current setup ni Marcos, as Duterte has been clamoring for. You know, he's been agitating for this, for the military or the police to do something, not to step in, for example. And you have, as a matter of fact, you have said that Duterte has been behind all of this. So, what are the chances? Now, I mean, how dissatisfied are satisfied are the armed forces and the uniformed personnel with what's going on in the Marcos administration?
Sa ngayon po, hindi, nung una po, no, merong konting grumblings kasi because of the fixed term law na ma-extend yung mga senior leaders sa serbisyo. So, tinamaan yung mga ibang nasa ilalim. So, mawawala na silang tsansang to go higher sa promotion. Nagkaroon po ng konti problema doon, pero na-correct po yun. No? Ginamit nga po yun ng mga kaalyado ni Duterte na gamitin pang-recruit yung sa mga hanay ng AFP, yung ano na yon, yung demoralization because of that. Pero na-correct yun na-amyendahan po yun. So okay na. Next, yung MUP pension reform na mababawasan daw yung active personnel, ginamit din ng Duterte camp yun kasi marami ring galit nun, no? Pero na-correct din, no? So ngayon, hindi na active personnel, kundi yung mga bagong papasok na sundalo, yun na lang yung mag-contribute sa pension. So naayos ulit. Kaya ngayon, wala ng internal reasons, internal causes to join any military intervention. Ang isa pang bagay that's going against the Duterte camp is itong pagiging maka-China niya. So, bakit ka ngayon sasama doon? Ang objective lang naman ng kanilang power grab is hindi naman for any cause, kung hindi para makabalik lang nga talaga sa pwesto. At pag nakabalik sa pwesto mga Duterte, di balik pro-China naman yung Pilipinas. So, madi-disadvantage na naman yung ating bayan dyan po sa West Philippine Sea at pasok na naman kung ano-anong mga sindikato dito sa Pilipinas na pinagkakakitaan nila Duterte.
Yes, but at the same time, malakas merong yung maisog rally, no? So if it's the threat internally is not has been minimized, what about external? Yung nag-uudyok si Duterte na kumilos kayo, 'di ba? Tapos pati yung mga si Mayor Baste, no, nang agitate din, no. Pagkatapos ngayon with this Pogo thing and all of these suspicions about spying, and yet President Marcos has not said anything about finally banning Pogos, no. What's up with that?
Ang sinusubukan nga nilang maghikayat, no? Si Duterte mismo, yan sila Baste, nag-agitate sila. Ang problema nga sa hanay ng AFP, lalo na yung kaya hindi nag-work yung mga ganyang paghihikayat, tapos yung direct attempt sila at recruiting, which are being conducted by Duterte allied retired AFP generals, hindi nagwo-work dahil nga pro-China siya, no? Wala hong malalim na kausa para sumama sa mga ganyan, kundi ito ay naked power grab ng mga Dutertes para lang makabalik sila sa pwesto at maproteksyonan nila yung mga sindikato nila. Yun po kaya hindi nagwo-work, no? However, based dun sa nasaksihan natin dun sa EDSA 2, kahit na gaano kapopular si President Estrada sa general public at sa military, pero nung nagkaroon ng political crisis, dali-dali ding gumuho lahat, no? Mabilis nakapwesto pa rin si Gloria. So hindi ka pa rin pwede magkumpiyansa kahit na kalmado ngayon ang AFP at nasa side ngayon ng administrasyon. Kailangan pa rin magbantay sa kung anong mga pagkilos na ganyan, no? Yan po.
Okay. But if it's not a choice between Marcos and Duterte, what do you call the opposition led by Risa Ontiveros, can it come out strong? No, for example, yung Tinklawan, pag tinawag kang Tinklawan, Dilawan ngayon, they're dirty words now, right? I mean, they've become so discredited, and then you have the party of Bam Aquino, but he's an Aquino, and he's going to run for senator, he says, right? And then you have Kiko Pangilinan and Shell and a couple of others na already lost, no, before in the elections. So ano yung chances na mapabalik pa yung Aquino magic, if there's a chance, number one, and how can they the opposition as seen before na elitista, no, hindi makamasa, how can you recover from that and therefore raise the chances of these opposition candidates gaining a seat in the Senate? For example, why aren't you running?
Well, ganito po, yung chance ng mga tatakbo ng mga independent candidates like Senator Kiko Pangilinan, Senator Bam, and Atty. Chel Jokno would largely depend on their own campaign strategies. Okay? Now, ang starting point po niyan, yung pink movement, no? Yung mga bumoto kay VP Leni Robredo, maaring karamihan doon ay yun yung makakakuha sila ng boto mula doon. But they need to expand. They need to reach out to the different sectors at different political colors if they want to have a chance at winning. At palagay ko ganoon naman po yung ginagawa nila. Now, ganito po, no? Ang chance anong magiging oposisyon by 2028 is going to be bigger kasi nga magkakaroon na tayo ng mas proactive na leader in the person of Senator Risa Hontiveros. Ngayon hindi po yan paghahati-hati ng oposisyon kasi ngayon naman wala naman na si VP Leni, no? Umatras na siya altogether. Hindi na natin siya nakikita, hindi na siya nagsasalita sa mga maiinit na issue ng bayan, no? Kasi kasagsagan ng mga problema, dapat kung leader ka, nandiyan ka, pero wala, no? So hindi hati ang pink movement. Ito ay magiging solid ito under kay Senator Risa Hontiveros. Ngayon yung mga maka VP Leni, no, they're still holding on to VP Leni, wala na siya eh. 'Di ba? So sino pa 'yon? It's just going to be for sentimental reasons. Ang ano dito, kung after the 2025 elections sumama sa diyan sa magkaroon sila ng magpilian among whether kay Senator Risa or siya, kailangan mag-engage. They can have a debate. Kagaya sa US, hindi ito anointed. Let us test them sa iba't ibang mga issue at doon tayo magpilian. But I doubt if she would engage in that. Kasi wala na nga, hindi na nga natin nakikita. Ngayon, ang bottom line natin, maraming kakulangan under her leadership from 2016 to 2022. Nakita nyo, yung Liberal Party nalusaw na from being a party in power in 2016 when it was given to her. She was the chairman. Hindi sila nag-expand, hindi nila hinawakan yung mga miyembro nila na loyalista nila, hindi nila ginawa yon, and she was the leader of that. Tapos ngayon siya mismo, si VP Leni didn't even file as Liberal Party, nilayuan niya yung partido niya. Tapos ngayon si Senator Bam hindi na nga nag-Liberal Party, kumalas na doon. So kanino yan? Sino ba ang leader niyan? Di ba ang leader niyan si VP Leni? Kumbaga, nakita na natin yung mga shortcomings sa leader. And tapos meron tayo ngayong alternatibo, si Senator Risa Hontiveros, kumbaga, meron ng pagpipilian. So ako po at ang aming grupo ay dito na kami kay Senator Risa. Should there be a push for an opposition candidate in 2028. Ganun po yon. Hindi na ako madadala doon sa for sentimental reasons na mananalo. Hindi na, because I've seen enough at I don't want to go through that again. Kaya ako, hinihikayat ko rin yung mga nasa sa Pink Movement na buksan nyo na yung mata ninyo at puso ninyo kay Senator Risa Hontiveros. At kasi yun na ito na yung nandirito sa atin. Yung paghahangad kay VP Leni na gawin ulit yung pagkatalo natin noong 2020. Hindi naman tayo nanalo 'di ba? Kasi nga late na Late na hindi nag-prepare. Pagka
just to clarify, sir.
Yeah.
Just to clarify, when you say yung grupo namin, sinong grupo 'yon?
Yung so nandirito po kami kay Senator Risa.
So you've started actually a movement to convince Senator Hontiveros to start preparing and to declare, move forward to becoming the country's or the leader of the opposition, a better chance sa 2028. Yes. Ganun po ba?
So, okay. Po yan. Dalawa po yung choice niyan. Is either mag-antay ulit kami kay VP Leni na baka 2027 pa siya, 1 week before the filing mag-decide, or dito kami kay Senator Risa Hontiveros para sumama kami sa pag-prepare. So ngayon, ako rin kami po ay naghihikayat ng iba't ibang grupo na kasama ng Pink Movement na dito na tayo para mas maging proactive tayo, hindi tayo nag-aantay hanggang sa dulo. So dito, mas nasa kamay natin yung landas or kapalaran ng oposisyon.